You know, they say if you don't use it, you'll lose it. And the mind is a terrible thing to let go of waste. It's a processing mechanism, you know, like any computer. And apparently all mammals have, well, a functioning brain. At least all the mammals that we know of and have studied. And you know, you gotta think, this is part 4 of why I'm leaving America. You gotta think that at some point, well, you get tired. And well, the brain needs to be, well, re-energized. It needs to be reconfigured, rebooted, so to speak. And well, how do you go about doing that? You ask. Well, you have to re-energize, recharge. You know, it's just like anything. If you use something up, you have to charge it back up. You unplug something and you leave it unplugged for a long period of time. It'll die out and you'll need to restart it. You know, that's your brain too. And it's important you re-energize and recharge your brain. So here I am delivering a message to you. Recharge and re-energize. And the most common way we do that, well, is through going to sleep. You see, we re-energize. And then we wake up and we feel energetic again. Like we didn't even go to sleep. It's important, re-energizing your mind. And while if your mind is tormented when you're awake, but at peace when you're asleep, now here comes the real kicker. How much sleep are you getting? Because, well, it's torturous to be awake. So, it's non-torturous when you're asleep. You gotta question yourself. And, well, you gotta hope that you're getting more sleep than, well, you're spending time awake. But increasingly, that's not the case for humans. They're spending longer and longer times and periods being awake, not asleep, you know. So we're not functioning the way, well, we were designed to function. Lack of sleep causes all kinds of, well, all kinds of oddities in nature. Well, every creature, you know, has this nocturnal brain. There's lots of people that, well, we're kind of nocturnal. Oh, well, we like the daytime too. Anyway, here's the thing. You always got to remember to recharge your mind, re-energize. And well, can that happen anymore here? You got to think long term. Assess the layout. It's looking like they don't want you to recharge, re-energize. I mean, we're still in the middle of a global pandemic. And well, they want you to get outside your house. Go back to your penny any job. You know, making $8 an hour. And well, having to deal with people who might, well, punch you, call you racial slurs, stab you, shoot you, you know. Get back out there. Go back to work, slave. Never mind your conditions. You know, there's supposed to be like a whole branch, OSHA, where they monitor workplace safety. Is anybody well monitoring that? Because, well, workplace safety ain't so workplace safety if you work in the fast food industry. You're, well, dealing with COVID and people, and you're serving them dead flesh if you're serving them meat. You know there's going to be a lot of beefing in the stores, right? You know, last year you had chicken wars. We're in the middle of a global pandemic where, well, we know that this jumped from, well, an animal to a human. Maybe a bat, but they were definitely injecting some animals in the lab. And it got out. And, well, now they're telling you, well, have a chicken war. Continue to eat chicken. And, well, don't worry about getting COVID. Because, well, couldn't be from eating dead flesh. Well, if that chicken has COVID, you certainly won't catch it. Eat up and keep serving your dead flesh. That's what they're telling you. It makes no sense. They know it makes no sense. And they know you'll probably figure that out soon enough. And so when you do, I wonder going to blame? Who are you going to be mad at? See, they got to set the situation up where, well, there's some intrigue. It could have come from a lab. Whether it comes from a lab or whether it comes from a wet market, does it really matter when you were testing it out on animals? And well, you know that it hopped from an animal to a human being. So now you're pigeonholed either way. You can't eat pets. You can't eat animals. You have to stop your cruelty. And well, that's not something that a lot of you are willing to do. You still want to have arguments about it. You still want to debate. Like it's up for debate. Like you don't already know. You discovered most of this shit in 1933. You've been poisoning people ever since. I mean, it's well been documented that, well, all coronaviruses are byproducts of animal bronchitis. People have known that. What the hell do you think this is all about? Why do you think people are like, if I don't eat meat, why should I take the vaccination? You know, start putting two and two together. People know, but people just don't want to speak about it. You know, in the land of the free and the home of the brave, it seems like people are not too free. Certainly not brave. And well, I don't consider this home. Because well, home is where you're treated with respect, dignity, kindness, civility. You know, you're treated like, well, a citizen. And well, re-energizing and recharging the brain and the mind requires that, well, you have to think different. And well, I don't feel like I'm getting any respect. And well, that's part 4 of why I'm leaving America. To re-energize the brain. Go somewhere where the brain feels, well, it's validated. It can easily reboot. And that ain't the land of the free anymore. Probably never was, but well, it took a global pandemic to figure things out.